If your elbow is at chest level, that's incorrect and is known as a raised shoulder or chicken wing. If your elbow is like this, no matter how fast you swing, you won't generate power. Today, let's break down the core mechanics of the forehand. You like my form? Alright, I'll teach you how to make your stroke look good. For both the forehand and backhand, the most crucial element is the coordinated power generation between your body and your arm. Your body should always follow your arm. For example, if your arm goes down, your body's center of gravity lowers with it. If your arm moves horizontally, your body rotates with it. If your arm moves up, your body moves up. And if your arm drives forward, your body drives forward. Then, you stop the upward motion at the end of the stroke. So, ensure your body and your hitting arm are always synchronized and in the same position relative to the motion. Backswing and contact. A second key point, your stroke should start with your body turned sideways and finish facing forward. Rotate from a sideways to a forward-facing posture. Initiate the stroke with your body open to the side, then rotate forward as you swing. Even with a minimal backswing, this rotation allows your body to generate coordinated power. Third, how do we ensure good posture? Most incorrect body movements are caused by excessive up and down motion, which looks uncoordinated. You need to maintain a level rotation of your body. For instance, whether you're hitting a drive or a topspin loop, the body's rotation should stay on a horizontal plane. The third key to a good framework is your shoulder position. Many players look stiff because their shoulders are flared out and tense. The issue lies in the shoulders. You need to keep them rounded forward and your core engaged. If you can't get the feeling, try hugging yourself to learn how to round your shoulders. Always maintain this rounded shoulder posture. Don't open up your chest. From a side view, if your back is too straight, your stroke will be rigid. Avoid putting strain on your lower back, as this can lead to injury. The correct posture is to slightly round your chest, engage your core, and lean forward. If you can master these points, your body framework should be solid. Now, let's talk about the arm mechanics. For your shoulder and arm to work together, your right shoulder must be slightly lower than your left during the backswing. Many players lack coordination because their backswing motion is incorrect like this. So what's the correct way? Let your elbow guide the backswing downwards. Do not let your elbow lift upwards. An elevated elbow will always cause problems with your stroke framework. So, let your shoulder drop down, leading with a lowered right shoulder. The point of your elbow should be at the same height as your waist. If your elbow is at chest level, that's incorrect and is known as a raised shoulder or chicken wing. A raised shoulder creates tension and is one of the most common mistakes among amateur players. During the backswing, your shoulder should feel like it's rotating downwards, not just horizontally. A parallel rotation will also cause the shoulder to lift. The elbow should point down, driving a downward rotation. The feeling is to lead the racket by pulling your elbow toward your waist, and then release the shot. This applies to both forehand drives and loops. That's how you achieve coordination. Therefore, the position of your elbow point should be close to your waist. This is extremely important, because a high shoulder prevents you from properly snapping your forearm. Okay, let's discuss distance. On the backswing, the distance between your hand and your body should be about 1 palm's width. A common reason for poor form is failing to maintain the correct distance between the arm and the body. Being too far away makes the stroke loose and uncontrolled, while being too close to the body cramps your arm. Maintain a distance of 1 palm's width from your waist. Throughout the entire swing, this distance should remain consistent. Backswing, drive forward, and snap the forearm. The third problem area is the elbow point. The point of your elbow, the bottom part, must always face the ground. Facing the ground. Let me demonstrate. Pay close attention to my elbow point. During the backswing, the elbow point faces down. As you drive forward, the elbow point should continue to face down. This is where amateur players often make a mistake. Their elbow points backwards. Other times, they push it inwards, leading with the elbow. For a clean forehand stroke, your elbow needs to drive forward. The elbow should not flare out or tuck in. Your elbow should follow the direction of your racket head. As the racket moves forward, the elbow follows. Drive through the ball, then snap your forearm. If your elbow is unstable, your racket angle will never be consistent. It's impossible to have a poor drive but a good loop. Your priority now is to fix these small mechanical details, which will improve your overall stroke. Perfect your forehand drive first, then you can build your loop and handle backspin. You must not lift your elbow up or push it inward. The correct relationship between the elbow and forearm should look like this. As your racket face starts to move forward, your elbow follows it forward. Do not let the elbow initiate the movement. Leading with the elbow is incorrect. So, upon the ball's approach, your racket face must lead the swing forward, which then brings the elbow forward, followed by the forearm snap. The reason you're making mistakes is because your elbow is moving first. The moment you contact the ball, your elbow either lifts or pushes forward. 80% of amateur players get this wrong. The biggest problem with the elbow isn't just flaring or pushing. It's that many amateurs pull their elbow and upper arm in towards their body when they generate power. Right now, you are pulling your arm in towards your chest after contact. This is why many people can't loop backspin effectively. The racket path is too flat, and they can't lift the ball. You must maintain a constant distance between your arm's framework and your body. Watch closely, my elbow is always on the outside of my body. This applies to both my loop and my drive. In the forehand drive, what part of the arm is the primary driver? The forearm is the primary driver. Why do you lack that crisp, clean sound on impact and that penetrating power? It's because your arm drops too low or lifts too high. To fix this, when you want to generate power, your forearm needs to pull back, then drive forward. Your racket must be behind the ball. For example, if your racket is below the ball and you swing upwards into it, you will never generate any speed. Keep your swinging forearm slightly lower, but behind the ball, like this. With my forearm in this position, I am now behind the ball. If you want to create that feeling of impact, you must have a backward backswing to generate forward collision force. If your racket is below the ball and you make contact during an upward swing, you will get a brushing motion instead of a solid hit. My forearm's motion is backward, then forward. The loop is the exact opposite. Watch me hit a few drives, the backswing is backwards, and my right shoulder stays low. For a loop, watch my forearm, it drops down. The biggest difference between a drive and a loop is the position where the arm opens up. For a drive, you need to feel like you're keeping your forearm level and driving through. For a loop, you must drop your forearm to create a better arc on the ball. Do you ever feel like you can't generate power on your loop? It's because your impact isn't solid enough. So you have to learn solid impact. If you only brush the ball, your shot will be weak. A good loop requires a well-coordinated combination of brushing and impact. You need to be able to produce this kind of sound. It's the same for looping backspin, the follow-through power feels like this. This is the basis for the two-step concept we often talk about for looping backspin. First brush, then drive. That drive is the same feeling I had when hitting the topspin drive earlier. It's this final burst of power. Without it, you can't hit a powerful shot. That's why you must learn to generate power in your drive first. Then, when you apply it to your loop, you'll get that forward, explosive power. If I drop my arm to generate power, it will always be a brushing motion. Only by keeping the forearm level can I generate true power. The key sequence is, keep the forearm level, drive forward through the ball, and finish with a quick snap. Many amateurs can only brush slower balls because they lack forward drive. The reason is that you are missing the driving forward component in your stroke. This is because you're only using your arm. I, on the other hand, am using my body to power the shot. Without using your body, you can never truly drive through the ball. When you rotate your body and use the right side to lead the arm, you naturally generate inertial force. Many amateur players use only their arm, so their forward motion feels like a push. When you use your body to lead the arm, it becomes a drive. Using only the arm is pushing, using the body is driving. Therefore, you must incorporate your body to feel a solid impact and generate power through collision. The second reason for lack of power is that your swing speed is too slow. A slow swing speed results in no explosive power and a low-quality shot. Let me explain why your swing is slow. Listen carefully to these two shots and notice why the second one has more power. The first. The second. Why was the second shot so much more solid, even with the same swing speed? Exactly, I created more space. On the first shot, my forearm was at a sharp angle like this during the backswing. When your forearm is bent at such a tight angle, no matter how fast you swing, you won't generate power. Your forearm needs to be in a more open state. Open the forearm completely. When it's open, then accelerate. That's a powerful shot. That's a finishing shot. If you watch Fan Zhendong's loop, his racket head is practically pointing at the ground. Watch why I can generate so much power on my backspin loop. It's because my forearm is opened up. If I try to loop with a cramped forearm, I can't generate power either. On defense, the forearm stays more closed. On offense, you must open it up. It's the same for a flick. If you don't open up your forearm, your flick will lack quality. Open it up, and the difference is huge. This flick has much higher quality. So you must fully open your forearm. As I said, there are two keys to power generation. First, you're not driving with your body, you're just pushing with your arm. Second, you lack sufficient space. If your arm is cramped, do you have any space to accelerate? But if you open it up, your racket can go further back, creating space. You can try it yourself. A cramped arm feels stiff. An open arm feels relaxed. Second, I need to be relaxed, and third, I need to accelerate into the ball. A cramped backswing locks up all the potential power in your arm, making it impossible to create that whip-like effect.